Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of the best sales this holiday season, and that is the Oden's 40% off Black Friday sale. I've been talking to you guys about Oden's Cosmetics, Oden's eyeshadow palette specifically for a while now, and I don't see a better way in which you could try their products than trying them 40% off. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my absolute favorite products from Oden's. I'll be showing you swatches of everything, and of course we will be doing a couple of eye looks with my favorite palettes. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't heard me talk about Oden's before, they are a Swedish indie brand that makes some spectacular eyeshadow palettes. They have some of the best shimmers on the market in my opinion. They have amazing duochromes, they have multi-chrome shades, they have just great sparkles. I'm obsessed with quite a few of their palettes. I put them in monthly favorites, seasonal favorites. Today's video is extra exciting because I get to partner up with Oden's to share with you guys their Black Friday sale. The sale, like I said before, is 40% off site-wide, and you will be able to use affiliate codes on most products on their website. The affiliate codes will still not apply to their collaboration palettes, but they will apply to the rest of the items on the website, so you will be able to get a lot of products up to 50% off. My code is this one right here on the screen, so you can apply it to most items for an extra 10% off, but everything is going to be 40% off, which I think is absolutely incredible. So let me go ahead and start sharing with you guys my most favorite Oden's items. Well, I will focus mainly on my favorite palettes because I am obsessed with Oden's eyeshadow palettes. I did want to show you a blush and a highlighter because they do also have those, and I do think that the formula is really nice. My most favorite blush that they sell is this one here. This one is from the Alva collection and the color is Apricot Girl. I do have bronzer on already, but I wanted to apply my blush on camera because I wanted to show you guys this one. And I love this one because it is the most beautiful peachy colored blush. Right up my alley. These are exactly the types of colors that I love for my blush, and it has a beautiful matte finish to it. They do have other color blushes in this collection, so let me show you the swatches of my top three. You're looking at Ripe Papaya, Sweet Peach, and Apricot Girl. They also make really beautiful marbled highlighters. This one here is from the Oden's collection and it's called Veil of Future. Every single highlighter I've tried from them is pretty sparkly, so make sure that you like sparkly highlighters before you get these. My top favorite highlighters from them are all from the Oden's collection. So here are the swatches of Spring of Life, Veil of Future, and Web of Destiny. Now that my blush and highlighter are applied, let's get into the palette recommendations. I wanted to start with their 5-pan eyeshadow palettes, and this one here has one of my favorite color stories. This one here is the Alva 2 Mini Sky palette. Let me show you the swatches of this one. This one has 5 fabulous shades. Illusion Shimmer, the shade right in the center, is a beautiful duochrome pinky silvery white shade. It sparkles like crazy, and I absolutely love this color story because it's beautiful, it's romantic, it's glamorous, it's shimmery, and it's pretty easy to use as well. You have these two colors right here that are pretty much matte. They do have a teeny tiny sprinkle of shimmer in there, but they look matte once you put them on your eye. And then you have 3 colors that you can put in the center of your eyelid. The duochrome I was mentioning in the center, you can use mixed together, which is the way I swatched it, or you can actually use it separately, so you can have 5 or 6 shades in this palette, and I think it is an absolutely beautiful, very romantic color story, and that you can create some stunning eye looks with this one. The next one I wanted to mention is this beautiful palette right here. This is such a beautiful springy summery palette. This one is called the Alva 2 Mini Forest Palette, and I cannot get over the beautiful greens that this palette has in it. The center shade in this one, I started swatching kind of like combined, but then you can actually see the separation between the two because I stopped mixing the shades when I swatched it, and it's because I feel like these two colors in the center are so distinct and so unique on their own. So you can obviously, again, use them mixed together or use them separately and they look beautiful. As you can see, this palette has some absolutely stunning shimmers in it and I highly recommend it. I love the formula, I love the shimmers. This matte color right here called Little Deer is the perfect crease shade to pop any of these shimmers all over your eyelid. It's a really nice, well thought out palette and I think you guys would absolutely love it. Also, this matte right here on the lower lash line, oof, so pretty. Next, let's get into the palettes that are a little bit bigger. These right here have 9 shades and I absolutely love the packaging of the Saga of Freya because they look like vintage storybooks. These two are my absolute favorite from that collection. I do have a whole review video where I used each one of these individually on my channel if you want to check it out. Just look at the inside of this palette for a second. Is this not the dreamiest thing you've seen? Let me show you some swatches. Just take a look at this absolutely stunning color story. I love the combination of the teals with the oranges. The shimmers are absolute perfection in this palette and you can create some really beautiful colorful looks with this one. I am absolutely obsessed with the shimmers in this palette. Each one of them performs stunningly and the fact that you're going to be able to get this for 50% off is an absolute steal. Like I said before, and I'll probably repeat a million times throughout the video, Oden's Eyes has some incredible eyeshadow formula, so if you like this color story, definitely go for this palette because you are going to have zero regrets. While the Cat with Golden Carriage has some absolutely stunning pops of color in it, my most favorite palette from the Saga of Freya collection was actually the lightest one, which was this one right over here. I just over the summer could not get over the peaches and the light shades that this palette has in it. I love this one because out of the Saga of Freya collection, this was the most wearable one. I absolutely love the color Skin. It is the most beautiful transition shade ever. And this palette still has some spectacular shimmers in it. Take a look at the beautiful swatches right here. This palette not only has some incredible transition shades, but it has some other colors that are very useful in intensifying the transition shades. Plus the frosty shimmer shades are absolutely incredible. You can create some very summery wearable looks with this palette, but you can also make them very nice and glamorous. So it is very versatile and I absolutely love it. Again, if you want to see specific looks with these, definitely check out the video where I reviewed this collection. Now, while getting an extra 10% off on top of a 40% off discount is incredible, and you can absolutely do that with everything I've mentioned so far, I have to admit that my most favorite palettes that Oden's Eye has ever made, without a doubt, are these right over here. First of all, look at this stunning packaging and theme of these palettes. These palettes actually, even though they're the same size of the Saga of Freya palettes I just showed you, these palettes have 12 shades inside of them instead of 9, and I believe that they have the most wonderful color stories, the most wonderful formulas, and of course the most wonderful shimmers in them. So let's start with the Hummingbird palette right here. This palette was made in collaboration with Tina from the Fancy Phase, and Just look at how beautiful and rich and bold these colors are. Just take a look at these vibrant swatches. This is Summer in a palette. This palette is a tropical dream. It has some really nice, intense, bold colors. I am in love with the shimmers that were chosen to be part of this palette, and I love the intense, rich, bold, dark matte shades that the palette has as well. Let me be completely honest with you, I thought these palettes were worth every single penny full price. So getting these collaboration palettes with a 40% off discount is going to be the best money you've ever spent, I swear. And this next one right here was actually featured in my favorite fall palettes of this year, and I mean, you guys can see why. This is fall in a palette right here. This palette out of the collaboration palette is the most wearable one, is the one that has the most transition shades, the one that has a little bit more of a monochromatic color story. It does have some beautiful greens and duochromes in it, but for the most part it's like a really nice warm toned palette. All of these mattes go very well together. It's also the palette that has the most mattes from the collection. I am so in love with this palette. This one was made in collaboration with Judy, and you guys need it, okay? Just take a look at these beautiful, beautiful swatches. You can totally see from these swatches how buttery and creamy and pigmented these shadows are. I love the combination of mattes versus shimmers in this one. I love that Judy included a few more mattes in her palette, and this one has definitely been one of my favorite palettes that I've tried in 2021, period. It's so versatile, so wearable, the quality is impeccable. Again, I cannot recommend it enough. I thought they were worth it, full price, so 40% off. I really, really hope that these sell out. I feel like these palettes are a hidden gem. They deserve so much more recognition and so much more hype than they get. They totally compete with a lot of my luxury palettes, and they are not that expensive. They're actually pretty affordable. Last but not least, this one right here. This is the Giant Wolves palette. This one was made in collaboration with Annette. And this palette right here, out of the three, and probably out of everything I've shown you so far, is definitely the grungiest, darkest palette. But when I tell you that it's got the best shimmers, and you guys have seen the shimmers I've shown you so far, this one's got the best shimmers out of all of the palettes I've shown you. Just take a look at these swatches. Tell me those duochrome, shimmery, glittery shades are not the absolute most beautiful thing you've ever seen. This palette also has a multi-chrome shade in it, which is the second to last. It's the color Eternal, and it is such a beautiful, beautiful shade. Besides that, I find that the matte shades in this palette are actually extremely unique. I'm always excited to see dark, colorful but muted shades in palettes. I don't know if that makes sense. Like this one right here is a really nice bright blue, but I feel like we see colors like that in a lot of palettes, right? But colors like Howling or Cosmos or Desolate right here, these very, very dark, grungy, colorful mattes are a little bit harder to come across, and the ones in this palette perform absolutely beautiful. These colorful dark mattes right here are the best outer corner color to combine with any colorful looks, and I love them. So all of these palettes I just showed you are my most favorite from Oden's Eyes, and I highly, highly recommend them. But now it is time to play with some eyeshadows, so let's see what I want to use. I think these three right here might be my top three most recommended, and so I'm going to use all three of them. We are going to be doing two different eye looks. From the Tears of Freya palette, I'm going to start with the color Amethyst right here in a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to pat that color all across my crease right here, just back and forth. By the way, did you notice how pigmented that shade is right away? Wow. Once the color is in place, going back with the same brush, I'm just going to blend out the top edge right there so that we can diffuse that pigment a little bit and we don't get any harsh lines. And from my Giant Woo's palette, I'm going to grab the color Howling right here. And I'm going to tap it on the outer corner of my eye. Just tap, tap, tap it right there on the outer corner. And I'm going to then, with the tip of my blending brush, start diffusing that shade into my transition shade. And I thought these two colors together would look absolutely stunning. I just added a little bit more of that color Howling. Just blending, blending, blending. And back with the big fluffy brush, nothing added to it. I'm just going to diffuse any harsh edges once again. Next, with a flat brush, I'm going to get this color right here called Skull. And I'm going to put it a little further back than the center of the eyelid right here. And mix it in with my dark matte shade by just back and forth running my brush through the edge. I'm also grabbing this shade right here. And I'm going to tap it in the center of the eyelid. This one's one of my favorite shades from this palette because it's got some beautiful pieces of silver in it and it just makes it look so special. And then with that same dirty brush, I'm going to grab the color Eternal here. And I use my dirty brush because that way it kind of mixes in the previous colors and it makes for a smoother transition. I mean, at least in my mind that helps, okay? So I'm putting that color on the inner third of my eyelid here. Back with my pinched blending brush, I'm just going to run it through the edges of the shimmer here so that it looks a little smoother. Why were you so far away? Come closer. Take a look right there. Is that not stunning? Do you believe me now when I tell you that these totally compete with my luxury shimmers? Is that not stunning? Back to this palette, I'm going to use this shade right here for the inner corner of the eye. And I'm mixing it into the eyelid a little bit. So, so pretty. And back with a little bit of the color Howling, I'm going to smudge it right underneath my lower lash line. A little bit more of the color Amethyst. And we're going to smoke out the under eye area. Okay, take a look right here at the beautiful shades. So for this eye, let's go in with Judy's palette, and I'm going to start with the color Serene. And with a fluffy brush, that's going to be my transition color right here. Next, with a more pinched blending brush, I'm grabbing this color here. And I'm going to build it right here on the outer corner of my eye. And blend it into my transition shade. I also want to layer in the color Fire here. So I'm going to tap it right here on the outer corner. Very lightly, I'm going to start blending it into my crease shades. Back with my big fluffy brush, just making sure I don't have any harsh edges. And with a flat brush, I'm grabbing the color Luna. This one here is a beautiful, beautiful duochrome. So it's got a warm shimmer and also a green shimmer in it. And I'm going to put it right here from the center of the eyelid outwards. Did you see how smooth and how beautiful this shimmer is? Same brush, and I'm going into the color Solar Flare. And that is going to be right here on the inner part of my eyelid. Mix it with the previous shimmer. Grabbing this color right here on a small blending brush, and I'm going to blend it right underneath my lower lash line. And back to this palette, I really love this one for my inner corner, so I'm going to grab it again. Right there, and bringing it in. Check out these beautiful eye looks right here. Let me go ahead and put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back, mascara on. I really hope that you enjoyed both of these looks, and I really hope that you enjoy my product recommendations for Oden's 40% Black Friday sale. The sale, like I said, starts on the 26th at 2 a.m. EST, and it ends on the 28th at 2 p.m. EST. So make sure that you get your items 40% off and up to 50% off while you can. I am, of course, leaving you my affiliate link down below in the description box. Make sure that you use that one so that Oden's knows that you are coming from my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. If you're new to my channel, please don't leave without subscribing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye!